One of the things I clearly changed my mind about over the past few years is to stop living so much in the future, or actually stop doing it anyway, all the time basically. I think it's so sad to see, but most people either live in the past, they are contemplating the past, what they have done and what they have not done, and they regret it, and they regret not doing it. Or if they're not doing that, they are worried about what's going to happen in the future, and they are worried about if their retirement plans are in control. They are worried about their job, they're worried about the weekends, the summer vacation and everything. You know, there's always something to be worried about and something to go around and being fearful and stressed about. And what I've said about being that state, that is the state where you are basically denying the whole existence because you're not living in the present moment. You're not living it as it's supposed to be lived. Like earlier this year, one of my things that I started to do was I put down all of my goals like I usually do, and I put them down first on like a notebook, and then I put everything on my whiteboard. And I was so structured in the beginning. I had everything pointed down, and I was going through everything. Fucking wasp. And I was putting down everything on like I said, on whiteboard, and I was going through everything every month. Every month I was going through thoroughly. But the thing is, like, when we do that, we're so obsessed, we're so structured, we're living mostly in the left brain, which is the masculine dominant brain, logic, reason, rationality, and everything, which is like 10% of the brain. But 90% of the brain is the feminine brain. That is the right brain, like I said, the imaginary, creative, emphatic, loving brain, you know, and also which is more connected to spirit, because that's the spiritual part of the brain. The other one is the material, the physical. So when I was doing that, I was kind of like sacrificing the present moment now, because I was always focusing on the moment, in the future. But when I just stopped doing that, and I have like my vision, I have my main things that I'm always following, but nowadays I'm still more in line with that, because it's just a natural way of me living. I'm just living my more authentic self, and if I do that, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Because if we really know who we are deep inside, we know exactly what we're gonna do. It's not that hard, but we're so programmed by layers of different personality traits that we put on ourselves that we kind of forgot who we really are. Remember when we were kids? Who were you? You know exactly what you wanted to do, what you were out gonna do. You didn't think about anything else. You just were you all the time, and that's what you want to do now as an adult as well. But we kind of like forgot about that. This is something I start actually to definitely start training more about, only for the past 5 months. I made a video recently when I talked about things that helped me to get into a more state of calming down the mind. A few things I mentioned was riding motorcycle. For me, it kind of forces you to do it. When you're at the gym, you can work out without music and stuff, and you're kind of like in this meditative state. When you're cleaning the house, doing chores, doing the dishes, being out in the garden, or whatever you're doing, walking in nature or something like that. That's a perfect example of you trying to be more in the present moment. And it's of course easier said than done. It's gonna take time, because it's something that you're not used to. We are programmed to always be occupied with things, to always be stimulated with things. And we are all also brainwashed into believing that time is real and that everything's going linear like this. But that's not the case, because time is just an illusion. It's a man-made concept, and it keeps you stuck in this cycle, in this loop of being scared of the past, and also scared, maybe regretting the past and scared of the future. A few years ago, I was in a company, a networking company. If you listen to this video and you know, you're aware of that business, you probably also know that they usually talk a lot about, they want to sell in you in the way that they're selling you the dream life, you can say. And the dream life, I mean, with the nice car, the big house, the high salary, you know, fame, status, these kind of things. That is usually considered as being successful in this modern world. The thing we always forgetting about is that when we always striving with things for that reason, I'm not saying it's wrong to have a vision and wrong to have something that you can see yourself becoming in the future. I'm not talking about those things, because those are important as well. But the thing is, what I'm talking about here is that you sacrifice in the moment now because you think something in the future will be make you feel better about yourself, make you be happier and more joyful and more fulfilled. But if you do things in that kind of out of that, you're doing it for that reason, it's never gonna be the thing that you thought it was. I mean, there's a reason why there's so many celebrities, and we could take athletes for that matter. For an example, that when they have reached a certain goal, maybe they won an Olympic medal or they have won a big competition or a tournament or something like that, it's always going to be a pretty big letdown. A lot of the people, athletes even say that they get depressed after because they put so much attention and energy into that things that they're looking for in the future, that when they eventually get there, it's not what they really thought it was. And one example as well is that always when they have achieved that goal, just a few days after, they have started training again for the next competition that is 1 week ahead. So all the time they're chasing something in the future, forgetting about what's happening here and now. And I think it's so sad because I see this all the time, and it's with people I talk to as well, that they always say that, not everyone obviously, but a lot of people, they say that, oh, my future looks so bright now, it's going to be so fun in the next year or 5 years, or even the next month or next week, it's going to be so perfect, I'm going to have my dream job, and I'm going to have a car, and blah blah blah, all these things. And without even noticing what you're experiencing now, what is it? Everything should be as good as it is right now, here and now. I mean, that's the whole point of you realizing your higher self, because once you do that and you get to know your true self, you're putting away this personality bullshit that you have been putting on your whole life, these layers that you have been accumulated, and you get down to the true core self. You would start to live more an authentic life that you really want to live. And once you do that, you will finally see that everything's gonna just click for you. Everything will unfold as it's supposed to be. I have a few examples in my own life recently that actually happened because I, first of all, manifested it. I wanted to experience it. I put it down on paper or whiteboard, but I let it go. It was okay if it would happen in a week, in a month, in a year, or even 5 to 10 years. I don't care. It was just something I wanted to experience, but I let it go, which meant that I stopped creating resistance towards it because my energy was very in line with that thing. And everything, as you probably know now, is created out of vibrational energy and frequencies. I mean, energies vibrating at a certain frequency. And if you want to attain something, you put the same amount of energy on that vibration that you want to achieve. And when you put yourself aligned with that, that's what you're going to experience. It's more, complicated than that. And like I said, I've experienced it, so I know exactly how it works. And it's actually a lot more easier than we have led to believe. And once you also start to vibrating higher, your energy is not blocked anymore with illusions and distractions, and you're just living the life as it's supposed to be lived, you will notice that things will just unfold for you. So if you're a person who's stuck in this mindset that you're always looking for something in the future that doesn't exist, first of all, because once that future arrives, it's going to be the present moment at that time. And when that time arrives, you're not going to be satisfied because you're going to wait for another year, for the other time. Like I said, I was part of a company there, and most of the people they want to sell in this dream with everything, like I said. But the things is this, that what I learned now, and when I've been observing that business for many years now, is that every year it's the same talk, it's the same hype for events, for ranks to accomplish, and money to make, But as a matter of fact, is when that time once again is over, it's the next thing. Then it's the next year, it's the next hype, new people coming in, and then next hype. Forgetting about the present moment completely. Sacrificing so much things because they want to attain something later on that they think will make them happy. But the beauty of everything is that you already have those things as it is right now. You just have to realize it, that you are perfect as you are right now, and you don't need anything to be put on. With that said, is it wrong to have vision and to like, because I usually, first of all, no, it's not, absolutely not. It's your, how do I say this? It's the way how you approach it, I would say. What I mean by that is it's the way how you view it, what it will do to you, if you know what I mean. So let's say you're a person you're building a company, you're doing something. Maybe you're doing a YouTube channel like I am, something like that. You do it because you think it's a passion for you. You do it because it feels very natural, and you do it because you feel like you're putting something value to other people. You're making a difference, and it's just natural for you. You just want to do it. You're not forced. You're not doing it by force. You're not doing it by someone telling you to do it. You just do it because that's what you feel is the right thing to do. And you don't care about the growth of it because, like I said, if you just align with it, things will unfold naturally. But if you are so obsessed with getting to that place, the success, to gaining that number of subscribers or whatever it is, you want to get to that state of what you perceive as happiness because that's what the outward success means, then you will probably not get it because you would just block it. You will block the energy because you are forcing it to happen. The same is with everything. Like if you're so obsessed with getting something, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's your girlfriend. You want a girlfriend. You want to meet someone. And you're obsessed with meeting someone. And if you don't meet that person, you will be angry and dissatisfied. But if you just let it go and be okay with things as it is now, you're gonna meet that person, I promise you. But anyhow, so that's the thing I want to get down to. We can have everything we want, we just have to put the mind and attention towards it, but let it go and tell ourselves that it's okay if it doesn't happen. But we usually tend to get obsessed with the things that we desire so much that we're missing the whole point to purpose. Because it's one thing to view it as an experience, it's one thing to view it as something you want to try out, something you want to have an experience about in your life. But it's a completely different thing if you get obsessed by it and you just feel like that's what you need to do because I know that there is my happiness that is there on the other side. And then that day when you have been chasing that goal for 10, 20 years, you will get so disappointed that you probably have depression, maybe kill yourself, because that happens for some people. But on the other hand, that's also some people, they need to go through it. I mentioned in the earlier there about the company I was part of it. I remember one event we were attending, it was in Oslo a couple of years ago, and it was one of the top leaders who was speaking. I think he was from Denmark or something, and he was putting up a few slides. In the first few slides he put the things that he was most proud of, that he had accomplished. And I remember it so clearly. He put up like, this is my dream car. It was like a Porsche. Then there was a yacht, and I think it was actually a plane. He made a lot of money, and he made a lot of money every month, passively, which is considered wealthy and successful in most people's eyes. And on the second slide he showed his family. So apparently the things that he was most proud of and the things that he enjoyed most was his materialistic things and not his family, not his kids, not his wife. And that is a typical example of someone who will never be satisfied because he will chase the things that he thinks will make him more satisfied till he dies, probably, if he doesn't wake up from that illusion. And it's so sad, because it doesn't have to be like that. Can you just imagine we change that scenario, and he has everything of this, but he's mostly proud of the family he has, because those are the ones he wants to spend most time with, his loved ones. He wants to spend quality time with them, but he enjoys the things he accumulates because that's like a taste he has in his life. That's something he likes to enjoy, and he can enjoy it with his family. But that's a completely different scenario than the first one, because the first one means that you will keep pushing and keep looking, keep excelling on this ladder. So let's say he was almost on top of the company now, but he wasn't satisfied. So in the next 5 years he will be even more successful and still miserable, maybe even more. So it's funny how these things works, and everything comes down to living in the present or in the future. Because In the future, we're always looking for things that we don't have now. We're looking for the things we lack, but it's just a mindset. But when we instead we're grateful for the things we have, we love everything that we do right now, we enjoy everything as it is, it's a completely different thing. And the things that we experience in our life is just a bonus in the sense that we are okay if we do it, but we're also okay if we don't have them or experience them. So I think it comes down to that. It always comes down to the mindset, how we approach things and view it. And that's my main message for this video. I want you to stop worrying about the future that doesn't exist, because your future you're waiting for or you're worried about is going to be your present moment when it arises. And that's what you will experience, because that's the only thing that experience. Time is just an illusion, it's just a man-made concept. It doesn't exist. Everything is eternal, everything is go back and forth. So yeah, with that said, I want to wish you a fantastic day. Talk soon again. Take care now.